My New Year's resolution months ago was to start practicing healthy sleep habits and get my nightly bedtime routine down pat. But I live in Texas where it's hot as hell, so the landscapers here like to beat the sun by starting work early. Like way too early for my sleepy ass to be hearing lawnmowers and weed whackers at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., I don't know. Any of those are too early for me. On top of that, I'm pretty sure my upstairs neighbors are auditioning for the world's most annoying tap dance recital. So I decided to buy a sound machine to tune all those distracting sounds out and protect my sleep. After doing a ton of research online comparing different options, the one I went with was the Hatch Restore 2, and I'll tell you why that is in just a minute. Now, I've been using this product for about 8 months or so, and for the most part, I'm very happy with my purchase, but there are some things I don't love about it, so be sure to stick through to the end of this Hatch Restore 2 review to know if it'll be worth the money for you. By the way, if and only if this review is helpful to you and you feel I presented it honestly, consider using my affiliate link in the description below to get the best deal possible while helping me out and supporting the channel. Now, let's kick things off with a short video I made highlighting the most important features of the product. I just got the viral sunrise alarm clock / sound machine everyone's talking about. It's called the Hatch Restore 2. Let's see if it's worth the hype. So this thing plays ambient sounds like white noise or rainstorms. I love the sound of rain. It doesn't rain here much in Austin, so at least now I can fake it in bed. What's really freaky is that no matter how loud you put it, your brain just kind of tunes it out after a couple of seconds. You completely stop noticing it. But it masks other sounds that would wake you up, like your upstairs neighbors building furniture at 3 a.m. In the morning, the sunrise alarm clock feature slowly brightens the room over 30 minutes or so like a natural sunrise. And at whatever time you set it for, it can wake you up gently to the sound of birds chirping or soft music playing, which is definitely a lot less stressful than waking up to a blaring iPhone alarm. I've been sleeping a lot better because of this, so if you want one of your own, you can check my links for the best deal possible or to watch my full review on it. So there are many sound machines on the market these days. I chose the Hatch Restore 2 over competitor options for two main reasons. The first is brand recognition. When you Google sound machine, most of the options that pop up are crappy generic products from companies that produce a very wide range of crappy generic products. Now, if you're really on a budget, these might work in a pinch and they could get the job done if you just need something making a constant sound like white noise, but you generally get what you pay for, and I prefer quality, especially if I just want to have something that I can use for years and not have to replace too quickly. So I like that Hatch specializes in just this one product and does it well. The second reason I chose the Hatch Restore 2 is because it's really two devices in one. And by the way, Hatch refers to these two main features as Rest and Rise. Rest being that kind of white noise machine or ambient sound machine that kind of helps you go to sleep, and then Rise being the programmable morning routines like the rising sun and birds chirping, and we'll get to that later. But as for this first Rest feature, the sound machine, I absolutely loved it. Almost everything is controlled through the device's app, which can be a good thing, but it also invites issues sometimes, which I'll get to in just a bit. But it's pretty easy to create custom rest programs that combine your preferred sleep sound, such as white noise, thunderstorm, cozy campfire, train ride, etc., with an optional nightlight, and you can choose the duration, brightness, and volume. And you can create a handful of these programs so that you can just hit the rest button on any given night to cycle through your favorites and have them play all the way up until your alarm finally goes off in the morning. My personal favorites were brown noise, night rain, cozy campfire, and fan. I find that setting the volume between 50 to 60 is usually perfect for me, but very occasionally, like if I wake up to someone weed whacking at 7 a.m., I'll crank that bad boy up to like 90 to 100 and go right back to sleep. It's actually pretty crazy because you would think that having it at that volume would keep you awake, but for whatever reason, my brain really does just register it as background noise, and you just sort of tune it out and stop hearing it after a few minutes. And you can pair this noise with some ambient lighting if you'd like, which honestly makes for a pretty solid nightlight or even just bougie mood lighting. Although part of my commitment to really getting the best sleep possible each night involves keeping my room completely void of light when I'm going to sleep, so I really don't use this lighting feature at all. But then we get to the second main feature, what Hatch calls the Rise feature and what I call the sunrise alarm clock. So similar to the Rest feature, the Rise feature is also completely customizable with different colored lighting, sounds, or music that you can play in place of your alarm clock at whatever time you choose. You don't have to use the sunrise option at all. You don't need to have the lighting on when you wake up in the morning to the sound. But if you choose to, you can select from a variety of color schemes that can gradually change and become brighter over the course of, like, I don't know, anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour to reach peak brightness, depending on your preference. And when your alarm does go off, it's also easy enough to either tap one button to snooze or hold that button a bit longer to just turn off the light and alarm altogether. And just like with the night routines, once you create a morning routine you like, you can save the program and toggle it on or off at any time. For example, let's say you know you like to wake up at 6 a.m. every weekday, but prefer to wake up at 9 a.m. on weekends. It's very easy to set that up in the app. But speaking of the app, I have yet to find a piece of tech whose app doesn't come with its issues, so let's review some of the cons of the Hatch Restore 2. The first big one is the fact that because this device is programmed through the app, it needs to be connected to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to function properly, or at least to set it up. Now, if you're someone who's pretty set in their routines, this probably won't be that big of a problem for you because you can activate the device just to start your preset sleep routine just by tapping on the physical buttons on top. However, I can be pretty inconsistent with my sleep schedule. Like I said, not a lot of discipline there. So one time when the Wi-Fi was out, I needed to make a change and I couldn't access it in the app. So I wound up just getting frustrated and unplugging the device. That way it wouldn't wake me up earlier than I wanted it to. Even worse for me, there have definitely been times where I made a change right before going to bed, or maybe waking up in the middle of the night and saying, damn, I'm not sleeping well. I'm going to need an extra hour. So I go in the app to make that change to my morning alarm, and I'm 100% sure that the change said saved in the app, but it apparently didn't register with the device, so it didn't wake me up when I wanted to be woken up. So my takeaway from those experiences is that the Hatch Restore 2 is very reliable for routines, like awesome for them, but I would definitely set a backup alarm on your phone if you have to break routine and wake up earlier for something important, like catching a flight, just in case the app doesn't register your changes in time or in case there's any other error on that end. Aside from this, the only other con of the device, significant and worth mentioning, and frankly, this is the biggest one for me, is the optional subscription. Now, I don't want to scare people away just yet because the device does work great and offers enough without a subscription, but there are some cool features and options like meditations, music, snooze stories, ASMR, and soundscapes that I'd really like access to, but they're locked behind a $50 a year paywall, which is pretty frustrating to me. Is $50 a year a ton of money as far as subscriptions go? No, but that's not my point. I really hate subscription culture. Maybe I'm just old school, but I feel like if I spent almost $200 for a product, I should have full access to that product. Because I mean, where do we draw the line? How far does it go before we're paying subscriptions to brush our teeth or comb our hair in the mirror? I just want to go to sleep. I don't think I should have to pay a subscription for that. But let's not go off on a rant here. To be productive, my humble suggestion to Hatch as a company, business, would be to offer lifetime access to these features for $50 to $100 one-time payment rather than a continuous subscription model. Because I know I would gladly pay more to access those features, but not on a monthly or even annual basis. So to wrap this Hatch Restore 2 review up, guys, I've been using it for about 8 months and genuinely love it. If I didn't, I would have returned it 7 months ago. But I actually do use it every single night, and it wakes me up almost every single morning when I want it to. It's a pretty cool and sleek looking device that'll look good in any bedroom, not cheap and janky. The sound machine feature works perfectly to help me sleep undisturbed. It's exactly what I was looking for. For the alarm clock feature, I do recommend setting a backup alarm for the occasional super important wake up time, just in case the app bugs out when trying to communicate with the device. But the sunrise alarm is awesome for gentle wake up and building healthy sleep routines. It definitely makes getting out of bed a lot easier than having to flip the light switch on and just be blinded and want to retreat back under the covers. And the subscription features, like I said, seem pretty cool. I do like them. I've tried them out through the trial, but I am disappointed that they aren't just included with the product since it's not a cheap investment. But again, to be fair, the device without the subscription does do what I need it to do and what I bought it to do. Again, friends, if you plan on buying a Hatch Restore 2, and if you felt this review was helpful and honest, and only if you feel it was helpful and honest, consider using my affiliate link down below in the description to get the best deal and help support the channel. And if you thought this review sucked or that I suck, drop a comment down below to help the algorithm show you more of me anyway. Catch you guys next time.